All right, guys, a couple of weeks ago, I got a package from Robin, who lives in northern Germany. He sent me 3 brand new locks. There's only 2 here because 2 of them are the same brand. So the one I really wanted to show you, though, was this guy. This is the first time I've seen the EVA 3KS. And right away, you can see this is probably a high-quality lock. We have a hardened steel pin to prevent it from being snapped right on the top here. The actuator can't be manipulated from inside the keyway. And when you look into the keyway, it almost looks like a dimple lock, but it is not. You got a little restriction in the center there to prevent you from manipulating the sliders on the left, on the right, and also on the top. Now, I haven't looked in there. I'm going to get the lock cam and probably overlay some of the video to show you what the inside of this looks like. But for now, let's just take a look at the key and try to figure it out. It looks like there are a total of 5 sliders on the left, and you can figure that out by counting. Now, it's almost like a 3D key. So we have what I believe these control the sliders on the left. On the other side, of course, they're not the same. They're not mirror images of each other. These contain the sliders on the right. And notice we've got some 3D relief cuts there, down between the center there. And I believe there's one right up in here on the kind of on the left. So those would manipulate what I believe are sliders, or actually wafers, on the top of the lock. I can only imagine being an EVA, there's plenty of false gates to fall into. Now, each side of the lock obviously is a mirror image, so it doesn't matter which way you put the key in, but you're still going to be dealing with 5 sliders on the left, 5 on the right, and what I believe are probably 5 on the top as well. We'll know when we take a look at the lock cam shot. Anyway, we will not be trying to pick this one today, at least on camera. I'm going to set this one aside, instead concentrate on one of Robin's other locks that I at least have a chance with. This is a BKS. Now, it is only a 5-pinner. It is possible to be pinned up as a 6-pinner, but they didn't do that. And thank goodness, because when you take a look at this key, I think Robin probably chose this one on purpose. So we got some awesome bitting here, and I know BKS has all kinds of really neat security pins. And this is called the Detect3, and it's commonly used on government buildings, schools, public buildings, things like that. They're used in industry. There are also 3 cuts on the tip here that are probably, and I'm fingers crossed, that are probably passive side pins, simply for key control, and I am absolutely guessing. I have no idea. Anyway, when you take a look at this profile, though, it is, when I say thank goodness it's only 5 pins, because with a high cut pin like that in the very back and low cuts up in the front, I don't know how I would reach a 6th pin if it's got any kind of serious high cut on it. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go ahead and clamp this up and see if we can at least get the BKS Detect3 picked today. All right, let's give this thing a crack. There is the pin. Fingers crossed, those truly are passive pins. This thing works beautifully. And I'm going to use, hopefully this is the right size. That'll work. And the pick I'm going to try will be, this is German lock. I got to try German picks. And I'm going to try this little guy. This is the V06. It's a 15 thousandths. It's the shallow spin. It's the profile from SS Dev, but in 15 thousandths. I'm going to try to work from the bottom of the lock and at least get things kind of started. So light tension. I know we have security pins in all BKS. I'm looking for a binder. And I can already tell the 15 thousandth is pinching. I'm probably not going to be able to get past that first piece of warding. Oh, I got a false set, but I just barely moved that pin. And if there's any cuts higher than that first piece of warding, I am hosed. There's some counter rotation, but I can't get past the ward. I can get up to the warding, but now I'm going to break the pick. So what I'm going to have to do is try, let's see this. I'm going to take the same pick, but this one's in 25 thousandths. I'm going to try to go in from the front above the warding and kind of angle him around here just a little and see if I can short circuit that. because I got to pick him up right above the warding and try to raise him even higher. And it feels like I'm close. Let me see if I can manipulate this around there. Come on. How about if I just go right, attack the front door, just like that. That is pin 1. Counter rotation. And now we've lost that fault set. So now I'm going to put that pick in the bottom. See if I can find that pin that set before the warding. Maybe. Let me get that original pick back. He might have gone up just a hair bit further into the warding than that 25 thousandths. Okay, that was pin 5. I felt a very slight click and a very slight turn on that core. Now I got a good fault set. That was pin 3. Now I'm getting counter rotation on, feels like pin 2. And again, he's going to break above the warding, so this 15 thousandths can't squeeze him any further without bending or breaking. Again, I'm going to have to try to go in from above the warding. And hopefully he doesn't, if he breaks below, if he reaches a shear line before the thickness of the pick, I'm hosed. So I'm going to try to get him from the side here. And then rotate him around. Okay, that is pin 1 again. Go back and see if I can squeeze a little further with... No, he's not going to go any further, I don't think. All right, let's go back to the original 15 thousandths pick. Again, we have lost a fault set. So I'm going to mess around with pin 5 again, just like we did before, and see if he's like a gatekeeper pin. And it doesn't appear to be. Let me go back to pin 3 and see if he's fault. There we go. So pin 3 appears to be the gatekeeper. So let's check up in the front here. Yep. So pin 2 is now... Looks like pin 2 fell back down. So let's try that little piece of magic one more time. A little more aggressively this time on the tension. Lost the fault set. Let's go back and check. Let's try that pin 3. See if we get it back. Nope. I might have pin 2 stuck halfway in the shear line. All right, let's try one more thing. Let's take this guy, and this is the V04 15 thousandths. This is the SSDev deepest pick. I'm going to try to get him from the bottom and try to force him, even though it's 15 thousandths and he's really dragging. I'm hoping that I can force him through that warding. I'm lightening up on my tension. I don't think he's reaching up past that warding far enough. No, I don't think so. Come out. All right, let's try this guy again. I don't have a lot of other options here. Okay, I am again and I'm getting counter rotation on pin 2. So this time I'm going to keep heavier tension on the core, not quite so light, and try to force him up like that. Because that time I don't think we lost our fault set. And nothing in there is giving counter rotation. Cool. All right, now let's go back with this one again from the bottom and see if anybody else is ready to pick. Okay, that was pin 3, so we have a very deep fault set still. Dang it. There's again counter rotation on 2. All right, let's try it with the 15 thousandths. Let's just try to really force this through that warding and be ready for a broken pick. He's not going, guys. I can tell you there's another piece of warding on top he's grabbing. It's close, but I can't quite get him high enough. So I'm going to push him up as far as I can, not apply tension now. Pull this guy out. Put my other 15 thousandths from the top ledge. Put him in sideways. And see if I now can get him underneath that second pin. Nope. All right, let's use the brute force pry bar, the 25 thousandth one. I know you're not supposed to use picks like this. I know, I got it. But sometimes you got to break them. Come on. Get up there. I don't know. We lost the fault set, for sure. So let's go try to find pin 3 again. Okay, I felt a little click, a little bit of movement, but it didn't get as deep a fault set as we had a while ago. There we go. Dang it, pin 2. Okay. I am really going to force him. Get up there. Nope. All right, back to the pry bar. Feels like pin 1 is down too. I'm going to go ahead and pop him first. Then try for pin 2. No, no. Oh, there he is. A little bit of counter rotation. Let's try it. And there we go. Come out of there. Woo, what a tough lock. Those obviously were passive pins in the back, on the back of that key on this guy. I am surprised I was able to get that back one. I didn't think that that pick would be able to go that high. Maybe the warding in the back opens up a little bit. I doubt it, but I think I was really lucky. And this actually is a pretty average lock in Europe. So compare this average lock in Europe to the average lock in the US and North America would be Kwikset and Schlage. Quite a difference. All right, this thing is still sealed. It is a brand new lock. I am going to probably gut it offline. I'll probably have to cut it. I'll still have a good one, but I will cut it there, open it up. I really want you guys to see what the pins in an average BKS lock look like. Appreciate you. All right, guys, here we're looking at. There were 2 cylinders, chamber 1 and chamber 5, that had master wafers in them. So I think that probably contributed to a good deal of my luck. On the rest of this, though, pretty standard stuff. We have a couple of spools here. In the first chamber, we had a steel spool. And then, you stick into the magnetic tip. There we go. Get over there. And then we had a brass one here. Now, these two are really interesting because these are typical of what you find in BKS. They have reduced ends on them, so they'll slide up in there. They'll bind on the body, but the tip of that will slide up and block the shear line. So we got 2 of those nasty little devils. On this last one, it's just a standard pin. Again, those are the 2 master wafers. You'll notice on the tip of these, they are reduced end on the top of the key pins as well, at least on these 2. The rest of them, yeah, chamber 1 has it as well. But anyway, there's what you got. Chamber 5, now the core was only prepared for 5 plug. So there's probably a different plug. I don't think there's enough room for them to have drilled another one here. So although the body was drilled for 5, this one, or for 6, this one's only got 5, and I don't think that this would be the correct core. There's nothing inside of there, no serrations or undercuts. I kind of expected it because I've seen those on BKS before. So they were really depending heavily on this super restrictive keyway and a couple of trick pins. I saw nothing on here for that would account for the cuts in the side of the key. So that would be psych. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe. Stay legal. Robin, thank you for the lock.